Welcome back to the Book Nook podcast.
It's great to be back.
So this time we're diving into Harlan Coben's Nobody's Fool.
Ooh, a thriller.
It is, and listeners, if you want to grab a copy, we've got a link for you down in the description.
Perfect for those who like to follow along.
Exactly, and a big shout out to all of you who sent in your thoughts and reviews on the book.
Yeah, there's some really great insights there.
Absolutely, and we're going to try to unpack all of it for you today.
Yeah, we want to give you a really solid understanding of what this story is about and why people seem to be loving it.
Exactly. So let's kick off with the main character, Sami Kierce.
Right. A former detective, now turned private investigator, and he also teaches criminology.
Oh, wow. Interesting combo.
Right. And this guy's carrying a lot of baggage from his past.
What happened?
Well, picture this. It's 2000. Sammy's backpacking through Spain.
Okay. Sounds idyllic so far.
Not for long. He finds his girlfriend, Anna, dead.
Oh my gosh.
And to make things worse, there's a knife in his hand.
Talk about a nightmare scenario.
It is. He ends up fleeing the country, haunted by the trauma.
So that's his past, but what about his present life?
Fast forward to 2025. He's in New York trying to build a new life.
Trying to put it all behind him.
Exactly. But then, bam, he sees her.
Mm.
Or at least someone who looks just like her in his night class.
Oh, wow. That's got to be jarring.
Totally. And then, poof, she disappears again.
Oh, that is a great hook.
Right. It sets up this whole mystery of who is this woman? What really happened back in Spain?
I can already see why people are calling this a real page-turner.
Oh, yeah. The reviews we got are full of praise for the plot twists and the suspense.
Coben really knows how to keep you guessing.
He does. He's a master of misdirection. You think you've figured it out, and then nope.
Leads you down the wrong path.
Totally. And what's great is that Sami isn't some perfect hero. He's flawed.
A bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, he's carrying all this guilt from the past, but you can't help but root for him.
He's determined to find the truth no matter what.
Exactly. He wants answers and maybe some redemption along the way.
I think that's why his character resonates with so many people.
It's his vulnerability and his persistence in the face of adversity.
It's inspiring in a way.
And then there's this added layer of humor with his criminology students.
Yeah, those Pink Panthers. What a name.
Right. They sound like a fun bunch.
They do, and apparently they end up helping Sami with his investigations.
It's like a ragtag team of amateur sleuths.
Now, that's a dynamic I haven't seen before.
And it really works. It
Well-
brings some levity to a story that could easily get too dark.
Now, before we get too deep into the details, it's worth mentioning that this isn't Sami's first rodeo.
You're right. This is actually the second book with him as the main character.
The first one being Fool Me Once.
Exactly. Now, you can definitely enjoy Nobody's Fool as a standalone.
It's written that way.
But if you've read Fool Me Once, you'll get some extra layers.
Like some Easter eggs for loyal readers.
Exactly. You'll have a deeper understanding of Sami's backstory.
So it's a nice bonus for those who are already familiar with the character.
Definitely. And speaking of the story itself, we saw some mixed opinions about the pacing.
Yeah, some folks found the beginning a bit slow.
Which is understandable. It takes some time to set the scene and introduce everyone.
But then the pace really picks up in the second half,
It's like a snowball rolling downhill.
gathering momentum.
Exactly. And that builds towards the super gripping conclusion.
It sounds like Coben knows how to craft a good build-up.
Oh, he does. He's got the thriller formula down pat.
And part of that formula is the use of dual timelines.
Oh, yeah. We see Sami back in 2000 in Spain, and then we're in 2025 with him in New York.
And those two timelines start to weave together as the story unfolds,
It's like a puzzle where the pieces gradually fall into place.
revealing the bigger picture.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so engaging. You're constantly trying to figure out how the past and present connect.
It's like you're solving the mystery alongside Sami.
Totally. And beyond just the whodunit aspect, there are some really interesting themes at play.
Like what?
Well, there's the whole question of identity.
Especially with this Anna lookalike popping up.
Exactly. Then there's family loyalty
The bonds that tie us together.
and how those bonds can be tested.
And we can't forget the impact of wealth and privilege.
Oh, yeah. That always adds a layer of complexity.
And of course, there's the theme of how our past actions can have long-lasting consequences.
It's like that butterfly effect.
One small thing can set off a whole chain of events.
And those consequences can ripple through time.
It sounds like Coben really packs a punch with this story.
He does. He manages to combine a gripping plot with these deeper reflections on human nature.
Now, before we jump into some of the finer points,
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone that if you're enjoying this deep dive,
Please do subscribe to the Book Nook podcast.
that way you won't miss any of our future episodes.
And if you have a minute to spare, leaving a review would really help us out.
It helps other book lovers find the show.
All right, so getting back to Nobody's Fool, we did notice a few criticisms in the reviews.
Like what?
Well, some readers felt that a side mystery wasn't as fleshed out as the main one.
That's a fair point. It can be hard to balance multiple storylines.
Sometimes certain threads are there just to support the bigger picture.
Makes sense. And there was one review that mentioned the book feeling a bit too American.
Interesting, considering it starts in Spain.
Yeah, it's always fascinating to see how different cultures perceive things.
Absolutely. And someone else pointed out a potential similarity between Sami and another Coben character, Myron Bolitar.
I guess authors do tend to have their favorite tropes.
And it's natural for readers to pick up on those patterns.
It's like spotting the author's fingerprint.
Right. And finally, a few folks mentioned that you need a bit of suspension of disbelief for certain plot points.
But that's par for the course with thrillers, isn't it?
It is. They often rely on heightened situations and unlikely coincidences.
It's all part of the fun.
As long as it doesn't get too outlandish.
Right. It's a delicate balance.
So to sum it all up, Nobody's Fool seems like another solid thriller from Harlan Coben.
It delivers on the twists, the suspense, and the compelling characters.
And the return of Sami Kierce is definitely a highlight.
Especially with this intriguing premise of a dead girlfriend seemingly reappearing.
It's a hook that's hard to resist.
And Coben's writing style keeps you hooked until the very end.
It's that blend of clear prose, realistic dialogue, and clever plotting.
It's a winning formula.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for a thrilling ride with some emotional depth and unexpected turns...
Nobody's Fool might just be the book for you.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Ooh, I love these.
Imagine facing a past that you thought you'd come to terms with.
And then suddenly everything you believed is thrown into doubt.
How would you react?
Would you try to bury the past again?
Or would you confront it head-on?
It's a powerful dilemma that Sami faces in this story.
It makes you question the nature of truth and memory.
And how much control we really have over our own narratives.
It's definitely something to ponder.
Well, that was an awesome deep dive into Nobody's Cool.
Thanks for joining us.
And remember, if you liked what you heard,
subscribe to the Book Nook podcast.
And leave us a review.
It helps us reach more book lovers out there.
And if you're ready to embark on your own journey with Sami Kierce,
check out the link in the description to grab your copy of the book.
Thank you for listening to the Book Nook podcast.